So today we're diving into a really interesting challenge. How do smaller nations, local communities, hold their own against these massive global digital giants?
And the borderless way data flows now, it's pushing people to think about a new kind of independence.
Exactly. Things like digital sovereignty and digital self-determination. Okay, let's unpack that a bit.
Right. They sound similar, but they're, well, complementary. Digital sovereignty is more about the collective, the institutional control. Think the state or community governing its digital infrastructure, its data,
Okay, the bigger picture control.
precisely. Whereas digital self-determination is more about you, the individual or the community group, having real agency over how your data gets used.
Agency. Got it.
And the really key part is this culturally grounded idea. It means your local norms, your rights, they sort of travel with the data no matter where it physically ends up being stored.
Ah, so it's not just about where the server is.
Not at all. And you need both, really. Sovereignty without self-determination could just be top-down control. Self-determination without sovereignty might lack, well, teeth. No real power.
So the combination is where the power lies for these smaller players.
That's the surprising insight, yes.
Yeah.
It offers a path to reshape how they interact with digital power.
And that brings us to our focus for this deep dive. A really intriguing experiment happening in Liechtenstein.
Mm-hmm.
It involves digihub Liechtenstein and IXO. They're prototyping a kind of community-governed data and services layer. Sounds pretty ambitious.
It is. The core idea is using technologies like Web3 and AI to boost local resilience.
Keeping decisions close to home, basically.
Exactly, close to the people affected. And importantly, they're exploring alternatives to the big cloud suites we all use, like Microsoft 365.
Right, the convenience versus control trade-off. We feel that all the time.
We do. And they're facing this head on. Online borders are blurry, new rules and obligations are popping up everywhere.
So they're asking, how can our local rules, our users' choices, actually stick to the data as it moves around?
That's the question. And it's critical now for, well, resilience, obviously, but also for innovation and building trust.
And Liechtenstein has something specific that helps.
It does. They have this forward-thinking law, the Token and Trustworthy Technology Service Provider Act, the TVTG. It creates a clear, supportive legal environment for this kind of tech innovation, makes it actually possible.
Okay, so that legal framework is key. But let's get into the mechanics.
Oh.
How do Web3 and AI actually do this? How do they boost local resilience in practice?
Well, Web3 is foundational for creating data structures that are genuinely community-owned, instead of data being locked up by one company.
Okay.
Think of data commons, places where local info is pooled, but it's governed directly by the community members through transparent rules, maybe encoded in smart contracts.
Smart contracts, like automated agreements.
Exactly. Self-executing digital agreements on a transparent ledger. If the members vote on a rule, it gets coded in, and the system enforces it. No single gatekeeper.
And AI fits in how?
So AI models, if built transparently on that community data, can help with local decisions, maybe optimizing energy use in the village or predicting local flood risks, things like that. But the control, the power to act based on those insights, stays local because of those smart contracts and community governance.
So it could mean faster, more tailored responses to, say, a sudden energy price spike, or even something like a pandemic response.
Potentially, yes. Coordinated locally based on local data and rules while maintaining that crucial local agency.
Let's make this more concrete. The sources had some great examples, like sustainable finance, a green bond for young people.
Yes, promoted by UNICEF and the Liechtenstein Bankers Association. What's powerful there is you can directly link local investment to local values and, crucially, track the impact transparently.
Okay, and then there was the community energy co-op idea.
Right. Imagine a village co-op. They put solar panels on roofs, tokenized shares in the project.
Tokenize, like digital ownership tokens.
Sort of, yeah. Digital representations of their stake. Then, the data from the panels, the energy generated, streams to a shared ledger. Usage gets settled automatically via smart contracts based on rules the members themselves voted on.
Wow, so very direct control, even while connected to the bigger grid.
That's the idea. Decentralizing ownership and governance of essential services.
And the agriculture example, farmer-led data spaces.
Farmers pooling data, maybe from sensors, maybe about practices under shared governance rules they set.
So the farmers control the data.
Yes. And then transparent AI models could analyze that shared data to predict risks, maybe reward regenerative farming practices. But the data rights, the value, stays with the producers.
So these examples show it's not about just rejecting big tech altogether.
Not at all. It's
Yeah.
more about building these local layers, layers of transparent governance, local accountability on top of or alongside whatever infrastructure exists. Digital self-determination in practice.
Okay, but why Liechtenstein for all this? What makes it a good test?
A couple of things. They have this unique legal structure, the Liechtenstein Venture Cooperative, the LVC. It's apparently well suited for these kinds of digitally networked cooperative projects.
And it's small, right? Like under 40,000 people.
Exactly. That small scale means faster feedback loops. You can try something in one sector, learn quickly, and maybe apply it elsewhere much faster than in a huge country. Accelerates the learning.
Makes sense. But are there downsides?
Yeah.
Challenges?
Of course. Having the clear regulation like the TVTG is great, but these projects still need to prove their worth, show real public value. That's crucial.
And the small size? Could it become too inward-looking?
That's a potential risk, yes, insularity. But they seem aware of it. The key mitigation is designing these systems for interoperability from the start, meaning making sure the successful patterns, the code, the governance models can easily travel, be adapted, and used elsewhere. It's not about building a walled garden.
So openness is important.
Hugely. Building trust, especially when you're running these experiments alongside the dominant cloud platforms, demands measurable impact, verifiable metrics, and really open methods.
So boiling it all down, what's the big takeaway for us?
I think it's that this isn't really an either situation, not public cloud or sovereignty.
Right. It's more nuanced.
It's about finding clever ways, technically and legally, to embed local agency, that cooperative governance, those rights-preserving practices, into whatever digital tools and infrastructure we end up using.
So the approach matters more than the specific tech.
I'd say so. It's the cultural stance, treating sovereignty and self-determination not just as abstract ideas, but as lived practices, things you actually do, measure, and govern together. That's what truly scales. More than any particular blockchain or AI model, it's about people governing tech to reflect shared values.
That's a powerful way to put it. So maybe a final thought for you, our listener. How could your own community, where you live, maybe start exploring what culturally rooted digital self-determination might look like? What local values would you want to see embedded in your digital tools?